Hi everyone, this is Do, welcoming you back to another Sword of Convallaria video. Today we're diving into what makes SP Inanna the absolute powerhouse that she is. Before we break down her kit, let's first take a look at how she performs against the level 70 magician.
心配いりません。お任せを。ご指示をお待ちしております。お疲れ様。私に続け。そこ。
警告どう。
私の番ね。ありがとう。ありがとう。心配いりません。お任せを。そこまで。アンテナ作戦。ありがとう。私に続け。これがみんなの決断。感謝します。みんなも一緒に前へ。さすがに。
Inanna of Convallaria is a watcher from the Iria, Sword of Convallaria, and Fortitude factions. Her trait, Will of Freedom, boosts her attack, defense, and movement depending on her star level. This trait revolves around stacking free will, and once she reaches 8 stacks, she unlocks an additional instant skill called Call of Freedom. Call of Freedom heals the target and grants them the Freedom Stance buff, allowing that ally to act again after taking an action. At 5 stars, this buff gets a huge upgrade, also granting the target 2 additional energy. On top of that, the targeted ally receives damage up 2 and damage reduction 2 for extra survivability and firepower. Her biggest spike comes at 5 stars. When she casts Call of Freedom on an ally, Inanna also applies all the relevant buffs to herself. This means she can benefit from the same buffs and even act again after performing a non-instant skill, opening up incredible combo potential. Now let's move on to Inanna's ideal equipment, starting with her astral imprint Dawnlight. At 5 stars, Dawnlight increases her magical AoE damage by 20%. After she casts a support or healing skill on an ally, she also gains a unique buff called Power of Dawnlight 3, which boosts her magical AoE damage by another 20%. Combined with the level 2 attack buff she grants her allies, this weapon really pushes her offensive potential. There's been some debate about whether Void Stab might actually outdamage Dawnlight, so I did a bit of testing to compare their output. As you can see, Dawnlight deals roughly 41% more damage than Void Stab in an AoE setting, which solidifies Dawnlight as her best sword. Void Stab takes second place, and if you're running a purely support-focused Inanna in a team with 4 DPS units, Safia's Nocturnal Glow is also an excellent option thanks to its unique damage buff triggered by support skills. For her trinket, if you want to maximize damage, Tristan's Blood Luxite Amulet is the top pick. Inanna has plenty of inbuilt attack stat buffs, but relatively few damage up effects, so increasing her AoE damage multipliers is ideal. On the support side, you can pair her with Old Scrolls of August if you're running her with Nocturnal Glow for a more utility-focused build. As for engraving, I find Sword and Wand Resonance works best in most cases. The exception is if you're making her your sole support with Nocturnal Glow and Old Scrolls of August, where Wand and Cup Resonance can help her maintain energy for consistent support skills. While her personal damage will fall off with this setup, the overall team DPS will climb significantly when paired with 4 DPS units. Finally, for her tarot, I recommend Magician and Justice. Use Magician for general AoE and map clearing content, and switch to Justice for boss stages where focus damage and survivability are more critical. Before diving into her ideal skill setup, let's take a look at Inanna's skill tree and see which nodes are worth activating. At rank 1, I would activate both skills. Convallaria Swordplay gives you a flexible skill slot, and you'll likely use this before Inanna reaches 5 stars. Light of Convallaria is fantastic for speeding up her free will stacking while also supporting allies within 3 tiles, granting them attack and movement buffs along with an extra energy. At rank 3, I'd go for Brilliant Light, as this aura becomes very useful when she's your team's only support unit. At rank 5, I recommend activating both nodes, mainly for the attack stat bonuses they provide. Unlocking this tier also gives her access to an SP reaction skill, which I'll talk about in a bit. Moving to rank 7, I'd prioritize guarding the Sword of Convallaria. This is a strong passive to slot in for specific scenarios where extra protection and synergy with her basic attack are valuable. At rank 9, Dawnlight is the priority, as it synergizes perfectly with her offensive equipment setup. Dusk can work in niche situations where knockbacks are needed. Keep in mind that this basic attack skill also pairs nicely with the rank 7 guarding passive. For rank 11, I'd activate both skills since they contribute to her attack stat, but I'd prioritize Battle of Convallaria's stands. The flag she summons functions just like her faction's aura, making it a great supportive tool. Finally, her rank 13 level 3 skill is an essential pickup, as it boosts her damage dealt by 12% and reduces her incoming damage by 12%, rounding out her offensive and defensive capabilities. Finally, let's talk about Inanna's ideal moveset. For her basic attack, I like to run Dawnlight most of the time, occasionally switching to Dusk if the stage calls for knockbacks or better synergy with her guarding passive. Her best reaction skill is, without a doubt, her SP skill, Battle Hardened Warrior, which accelerates her free will stacking, while also boosting her damage and survivability thanks to the Battlefield Trial buff. For core skills, Battle Flag of Convallaria is absolutely essential. It provides that strong faction aura effect and is the backbone of her supportive role. Light of Convallaria is another great pick, especially if you're running her as a solo support in an offensive team. For passives, guarding the Sword of Convallaria is a fantastic choice, as it improves her survivability and damage output while synergizing nicely with Dusk. Convallaria swordplay from rank 1 is a solid alternative for flexible builds, and Brilliant Light is handy if you need to play more defensively or want extra team-wide utility. That's the moveset I recommend, but feel free to experiment. Play around with different setups and let me know in the comments which moveset has been working best for you. And that wraps up our deep dive into SP Inanna, the powerhouse support and AoE damage dealer who can completely change the pace of a battle. Whether you're building her for raw offensive output or leaning into a solo support setup, she brings incredible flexibility and value to any team. This video is sponsored, so if you haven't already downloaded Sword of Convallaria, please consider using the link in the description. It really helps support the channel and allows me to keep bringing you more content like this. If you found this breakdown helpful, don't forget to like, subscribe, and leave a comment sharing your favorite Inanna moveset or team synergy. I always love hearing how you're using her in your own runs. As always, stay cool, stay crispy. This is Doe signing off. See you in the next video.